What's up, everyone? This is a quick overview of a Geometry Compositor 2.0. The new version introduces more interactive and flexible way of compositing geometry inside Houdini and sending it to the Unreal Engine. So the idea is that we now can actually go ahead and chain multiple Geometry Compositor nodes to create kind of a layered approach for the compositing of the geometry and then sending it to the Unreal Engine. So Unreal Engine part is actually completely optional, but you can see that in this case I am kind of using the layered approach, using a floor, wall, copying all the cabinets, cabinet doors, and then the props. And then I'm saving. And if you want, can send it to the Unreal Engine as a point cloud. In this case, I'm just saving the file out, and inside the Unreal Engine, I am instantiating all the static meshes that I am referencing also inside the Houdini. In this case, this is basically one-to-one replicated my uh, from my props that I have set up inside here as a point cloud import. And also, I very quickly set up this, like maybe in 2 minutes, this module house that I downloaded from one of the asset packs. So it is super fast now to actually create these kind of setups. And also this layered setup is actually very powerful now because now we can actually create different sets of kitchens. Maybe you can just branch out and maybe say, okay, different prop sets and all of that. So this is one way the Geometry Compositor node has changed. Another way that it has changed is the actual interactivity. If you go ahead and enter its Python user state, the most obvious thing now is that we can actually hover over the items and it's going to be automatically selected. So this happens when you hold down a control key on the keyboard, and while you hold down the control, it's going to check for whether we are selecting any of the items that we can move around. So in this case, let's say I want to maybe move this glove. Just hover over, uh, uh, release the control key, move it around like this. Let's say I'm happy with it. Update our point cloud, update positions, reload geometry. Let's go to the Unreal Engine. Let's take a look at this glove. Let's recook it. You see, we have now moved this glove in this position. So it's super easily to move the point cloud between Houdini and Unreal Engine. So this is a big update for the interactivity of the actual node on how it is actually set up. Another cool feature I have added is the ability to snap to the collision geometry. In this case, let me move this bottle upwards. And what you can do is actually go ahead and say Control Shift and press the left mouse button. And then it's going to basically check for the collision downwards, basically the negative y direction is going to check for collisions and going to basically snap to this. So this is good for hard props where you want to just move them around. One big feature that I have introduced is actually ability to read JSON files, and instead of using directories for the files, I actually now use I have now ability to use a geometry collection JSON files. So this geometry collection and file scrubber node is also going to be will be included in the download, so that you can create your own collections with these two nodes and then load them up inside the Geometry Compositor node. So the idea is that let's take a look at I have saved bunch of geometry. I have saved out bunch of geometry from Unreal Engine, like these cabinets from one of the asset packs that I have downloaded. And what I want to do is store all of these. Now that I have all the geometry on disk, I want to store the paths to this geometry on disk in a JSON file. So this is where my geometry collection IO node comes in handy. And what you can do is go ahead and say, I want to save this collection as a cabinet. Let me open up the save directory. And let's open up, I have already saved this out. Let's take a look at this cabinet JSON file. And you will see the only thing that we are now storing is the name of the file and where it is located. And now we have these files. Now we have these locations. What we can actually do in the compositor node, when inside here, when I go to the controls and the mode is set to the geometry collection. So the original option geometry compositor was where we basically use the directories to search for files. So that was very cumbersome way to select geometry, because that means that it would the most efficient way to work with the node would have been that all geometry would be in the same folder, and all the kind of a collections of the related items would be in the subdirectories. Now with the help of IO nodes, we can actually load our geometry from many places on disk at once. So let's say I have cabinets in this location where I have saved out this asset pack, but I can also, nothing really stops me from adding another directory where maybe some other cabinets from other asset packs I have also. And then I could merge them all and then save those directories, those locations on disk where they are located as a one geometry collection, because at the end of the day, we just need paths to those files. So inside here, what we can do is just make sure that you have this mode is to geometry collection, and then point to all the collections, and then you can select what kind of collection you want to load. Basically, the active collections, what are the active collections that you can switch between when you are in the Python viewer state. In this case, I'm using the regular expression that says that all the collections inside this directory is valid, but let's say I want only cabinets to be valid. And then I go to the Python viewer state. It's basically going to automatically select the cabinets collection. And if you take a look at the index 15, so this is a 15, you see we are now selecting the collection cabinet.json. But let's say I also have I might kitchen props also. Now I have also activated kitchen props collection for this Python viewer state. To select the props collection, I just go ahead and Control Shift and mouse down. Now I have switched between the collections instead of using since the kitchen props and cabinets are my active collections, I can switch between them inside my Python viewer state by Control Shift clicking. And now I can basically move around some of these props that maybe I want to copy inside inside here. Obviously, I do not want to do this because this is a kind of a layer only for the kitchen cabinets. So it is good idea to kind of do it in the layered approach. This is a very powerful way of us creating this kind of a collections, this kind of a geometry collection that we can then kind of save geometry in the logical pieces inside the JSON file that we can then just go ahead and load it. So this is a really nice way and completely transformative way of creating these kind of set addressings for all of the geometry. So yeah, so this is all enabled by the file scrubber by looking looking at all of the geometry on the disk and then also saving it with the IO node. So I go through all of these in my almost an hour long video on how to work with this node. I am also going to include my save Unreal Geometry node if you want to save your assets from the Unreal Engine. So in this case, I have downloaded this 55 Elm Street asset pack, and there's a bunch of static meshes, over 600 meshes that I went ahead and saved on disk. So I'm going to also include so that you can easily with the help of the PDG to save out all your assets from Unreal Engine if you are getting your assets from Unreal Engine. So in this example I am showcasing how to use the node for kind of like a set dressing, where we do it in the layered approach where we have walls, cabinets, cabinet doors and props. And another powerful way that you can use this node is actually use a creating of the procedural buildings with the modules. Again, I have imported this point cloud. I mean, once I have sorted out the modules and the modules from the asset packs, and I have created my collection for this kind of a building. It is super easy to just go and create different kinds of buildings inside compositor node. In this case, let me duplicate it and show you how I made it. You can see I have my geometry. I have loaded up my collection called. So in this case, my collection is in a modular building.json file, which store the locations, all the locations on disk for this kind of a building. So let's say I want to change. So in this case, there's not a lot of variability available. Let's say I want to change these doors to the big ones. So I can go ahead and select this module, and let's go ahead and flip between all the different modules. So I can go ahead and select this big module. This door frame can be switched. So I know that there's a big door frame like this, and now I also know that there is a big doors somewhere. Just have to flip through them all. I mean, at least I think there was a big doors. Maybe these were kind of like these. I just have to go ahead and move them like this. Then I just go ahead and duplicate them, and there might be the other opposite doors like this. I just go ahead and align them like this. And if you want to get this kind of a changing of the perspective node, go ahead and download the my toolkit from GitHub that includes this kind of a menu, because this has been very useful for me to setting up something like these cabinets to see from top how it looks, because this is not actually a menu that is by default in Houdini. And let's recook it, and we should now replace this building with the house with the big doors. I mean, it's super simple and really cool that you can create very quickly different point clouds for these kind of module buildings also. So this is kind of two main things that I have designed this geometry compositor node for. So that's it. I hope you found this video interesting and intriguing on trying out this geometry compositor node. And if you do, link is in the description to get this node, and see you next time.